get my hat here all good. So, how's everybody doing? You're watching Coffee with Ray. So, once again, I got to do this stupid vertical thing because I'm doing outside and I'm doing live on my phone. And I'm not too keen about that. I like doing wide versus long. But do me a favor. One, I really thank you for tuning in the show. I thank you for chopping in. If you're new here, like, subscribe, share, and then ring that little bell so you get notified whenever I do go live or I do post a new video and everything. So, today's topic, you are the watchman on the wall. And why do I say this? Because, well, first, what is a watchman? And if we look back at Scripture, the Bible, the watchman is talked about in Scripture a lot. And what these guys did is they were the ones that stood upon the wall of the city and looked out on the horizon, watching for the enemy, watching for attacks, watching for anything to come towards the city, and so forth. And the responsibility of the watchman was to sound the trumpet and warn the people down in the city, because they're down in the city. They have a wall around them. They couldn't see what's going on outside. And so the watchman on the wall was responsible for warning the masses and letting them know, hey, danger's coming, But if the watchman did not do his job, if he did not sound the alarm and they got overran, then the blood of the innocent was upon the hands of the watchman. And so being a watchman on the wall was a very, very important job in biblical times, because they're the ones who basically pulled the security. They're the ones who gave early warning and everything like that. And so that basically kind of is what the watchman is. It was a very special position. It was something that was looked up upon, and so it was a very important job, because the life of the city depended upon the watchman. So, hey, Go West. Hey, Holly. Hey, Kim. Guys, glad you're here. Glad to see you and everything. But here's the interesting thing is a lot of preppers are watchmen, and a lot of them don't realize it. And so what are the traits of being a watchman? Uh, we are able to read the news and absorb the news. And yeah, the news kind of bugs us, maybe or not, but it doesn't affect us like so many other people, like the common man. The common man reads the news and everything, starts freaking out and starts worrying and all that other stuff. But we as watchmen, we absorb it, we see it, we read it and everything. And we just seem to compartmentalize it. And yeah, it bothers us, but in one side, it doesn't. And so we have that means or that ability to read the news and not affect us. We also have the ability to basically read between the lines. And how I say that is that we'll watch a news piece, or we'll read a story, or we'll see some YouTube video or something like that, and we'll hear what's going, the people are saying and everything, but it seems like the information just comes at us at 3D Technicolor, and we see it and we hear it and everything. And it's like, wow, I see something here. And so it seems like news kind of jumps off the page, and I'm speaking in kind of analog terms, because the days of the newspaper and everything like that. But have you ever read an article or read something on the internet and everything, and after you've read it, things just start popping up off the page, and you're seeing something that is kind of there, but it isn't being said in the news. You're able to see that clearly. And so we as watchmen have the ability to naturally read the news and then read between the lines. And so that's another interesting thing. We are able to pull the truth out from the noise. And so even with a fluff piece or something like that, we'll see, hey man, there's something about this story that they're not telling us, and so we're able to pull that truth out. So even though we're given a lot of noise or a lot of fluff or something like that, we're able to extrapolate that sort of information, and we can see that there's something more there. We have the need to tell others. And again, this is something very popular in the prepper community because I know all of us do it. We prep and everything like that, and we try to tell our friends and our family, our compatriots, and all that other stuff. And everybody thinks we're crazy. But we just have this innate need to start warning people, and so that's just another trait of being a watchman. Another trait is being prepared, because we as watchmen are reading the noise, we're extrapolating that information, that news is jumping off the page and everything, and so because of that, we feel the need to prepare when nobody else is doing anything about it either. And so being prepared is just, again, another trait of being a watchman. We have the ability to look out on the horizon and see trouble coming. Even though maybe the common man can look out on the horizon and they're basically oblivious, we see something differently, and so we see, the trouble coming and everything. And imagine standing on top of a wall and you see this big dust cloud coming and everything. You know that something's coming, whereas the common person will look out there and they'll just see a dust cloud. Well, they don't know what that is, or anything like that. But we have the ability to see that. Another thing that we have is that God blesses us with calm. And even though we're watching this news, we're seeing all this stuff, and we're taking it in and everything, we have this internal calm that we choose to then prepare, get ready, do all this other stuff, where a lot of other people are kind of running around like they're chickens with their heads cut off. And so if some of these traits ring true to you, then odds are you're a watchman on the wall. And a lot of people don't realize that they're watchmen and everything. But if what I've said here is, yeah, man, I do see news pop off the page, and yeah, I do see these YouTube videos, or I see this news piece, and yeah, I'm seeing something else there, and everything. What you are is a watchman, and again, it's a very important position. It's spoken about in the Bible, and basically the watchman was the person who was in charge of warning the people down in the city. And another thing, what we need to realize is that by being a watchman, we are the rock in the storm. And because we've seen it all, people are going to start gravitating towards us because we see the world differently than how they see it. And so we're the ones that are preparing. We're the ones that are telling people how to get prepared, how to do this, how to do that, and everything. I consider myself a watchman on the wall, and I just feel this innate need to constantly do these videos and constantly teach people or warn people or talk about things and everything, as well as teaching people and talking about how to prepare, how to be doing things better, and all this other stuff. Like, for one example, I've been warning a lot about China, and this is something that I'm seeing way out there on the horizon. Odds are that a lot of you are also seeing the same thing. It's kind of like, looking through a veil, or looking through the glass darkly. Paul talks about that in looking out towards the horizon. We see something, we know something down in our gut. Our gut is telling, man, there's something out there. We see that, but maybe it hasn't completely gelled yet. And yet we know something is out there. And so because of that, we tend to prepare even more. We tend to be the ones who stand up and say something. And, we start, again, leading by example. We start taking action. We start, doing things for our family to better our family and everything. And then we also, tend to, I hate to use the word not fear, but because we're able to absorb all this information and everything, we tend to be braver because we are able to assimilate all this information and do things about it and warn people. Now, why am I talking about all this and everything? Today is October 4th, and it's amazing to me how many people are freaking out over this presidential emergency telephone call that is going to be taking place at 2 p.m. Eastern. And I sit back and there's all these conspiracy things going on out there. There's all this stuff, and I'm reading all this and everything, and some of it I can believe, but there's some stuff that I just think that, man, that's just way out there. That's not realistic and everything. Because again, my motto is realistic prepping for real people, and so I think it's easy for people to get all sucked into that fear and that fear mindset. And what I keep telling people is that fear is the mind killer. Fear causes you to basically stop what you're doing. It creates that deer in the headlights syndrome. And I'm seeing things out on the internet. I'm seeing things on Facebook. I'm seeing things on YouTube and everything. And there's a lot of fear today. And what I want to encourage you guys, you guys are watchmen. If you're watching this right now and you're a prepper and you basically agree with all the traits of what I've talked about here, you're a watchman. And what we need to do is we need to lead by example. We need to continue to maintain and that calm. We need to maintain that vigilance and stay rock steady, because again, we are the rock in the storm. Go West says, God has a peace that knows no fear. That is what I was told. And I totally agree. But there's a lot of people that just, live in the fear and become basically deer in the headlights doing nothing. And what I want to encourage you guys is really examine yourselves. Are you guys watchmen on the wall? And I find that most preppers are, but they don't realize it because it's like, what am I doing? Why am I doing all this? Why do I feel this way? Why do I have this need to tell people and everything? It's because you're a watchman. And we as watchmen in today's world play an important part, and we lead by example. We are the ones who will help people and everything. And that's what I want to encourage folks, is to be there, be that rock. And then, because today's October 4th and our phones are going to be going off at 2 p.m., don't freak out. Don't fear. Fear is the mind killer. And, things are going to be, in all essence, I honestly believe that our phones are going to go, bleh. This has been a presidential warning, blah, 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 blah. And that'll be it, But it's, and some of you are saying, oh man, he's crazy. He's this, he's that. Folks, here's the thing that I'm concerned with, because I'm also hearing that today is National Turn Off Your Phone Day. Being the tin hat wearer that I am and everything, I am one who believes in hiding in the noise, meaning go about your regular business, be the common person, be that gray man, and kind of like blend into the background. Now, if you're one of those who are going to turn off your phone and everything like that, folks, like it or not, they're going to know. And so are you basically painting a target on your back as one of those conspiratorial tin hat foil wearers or not? And so I've been kind of weighing that. Do I turn off my phone? Don't I turn off my phone? That yada yada yada. If I turn off my phone, will I be marking myself as one of them? And everything. And I always try to live life as the gray man. Now, yeah, walking around city and everything with a kilt and, and a beret, everybody in the world knows me. But, do we want to, hide and turn off our phones and kind of live in that fear? Or do we want to hide in the noise? I have to admit, I'm still contemplating. Do I want to turn it off, or do I want to hide in the noise? And my gut is telling me hide in the noise. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys what to do or anything. You guys do what you feel like you need to do and everything like that. But if I do turn off my phone, am I painting a target on my back? And so in all of this and seeing all this stuff going on and all this stuff talking and everything, you know, are we the watchman on the wall or are we not? And I think it's important that we continue to live by example, that we continue to uh, you know, carry on, move forward, and continue to be that rock in that storm. And you know, after at what 2:05, we're going to find out what's going to, you know, what it is and everything. But I've been just really contemplating about the October 4th issue and this whole phone thing and everything like that. And I'm going back to the basics. One, I'm a watchman on the wall. And so I need to be on that wall. I need to be watching what's going on. I need to be ready to sound the alarm. And if, you know, if something comes out of that, then again, we'll know at 2:05. Or is it just going to be, bleh, you've been now having a presidential emergency broadcast, blah, 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 blah. So, uh, but it was just something I really started pondering this morning. I was doing my walk and everything, and it really started hitting me. You know, I'm a watchman on the wall, and, you know, do I fear or do I sound the alarm? And again, be the example, be that light in the darkness, so that, you know, so that people naturally gravitate towards us and start taking from us the calm that we have, the no fear that we have. And that was something that Watchmen exude, is that the word, or display or something. You know, we know the real dangers. We know what we see out there and everything. And so I guess the big message that I want to talk and share with you guys today is, if some of the symptoms of what I've described to you as a watchman, realize that you are one, and then start acting on it and start standing up, be that rock in the storm, be that example. And, you know, don't fear, don't allow fear to overcome you. Don't do things in panic and things like that, because again, panic kills. Panic is part of the fear mindset, and fear kills. And so by doing all those things, you know, either you become the deer in the headlights, or you wipe it off yourself and say, you know what, I'm not going to fear. I'm going to continue moving forward. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing today. I will win for today. I will achieve my goals today. I will do what I'm supposed to today, and I will not fear. And so I guess that's the big message. And I know that I'm kind of rambling here, but this is just something that, you know, I'm feeling on my heart to share, because I think that there's people that are going to be out there freaking out, and we have a chance to basically be that light. And I'm reminded of 1 Peter 3:15, which is one of my favorite verses. 1 Peter 3:15 says, always be ready to share the hope that's within us in meekness and fear. And the word always stands out. Always means in good times and in bad. And I really see it as our responsibility to be that rock in the storm, so that when other people see us and they're fearing, they can pull from us our calm and realize, hey, this is okay. If Ray's doing it and he's standing strong, then hey, I can stand strong too. Go West says, electricity through the air when your smartphone is charging. I've seen videos about it. I can't do much with my flip phone, but they say that they are better. I have GPS and YouTube on my flip phone. Okay. Russia did the test yesterday. I saw that too and everything. So there's a lot of things going on in the world today, and like it or not, are these things that we can control? No, we can't. But what we can control is ourselves. And so I want to encourage us all to push forward, not fear, be that watchman, be that example, be that rock in the storm, stand up, and be that calm so that others see us. Be the hope. Again, uh, always be ready to share the hope, because what happens is when people start seeing you being calm, when they start seeing you, you know, being that rock in the storm, they start gravitating towards you and then start, hey, what's going on with you? Why aren't you freaked out? Why aren't you this? Well, I've prepared. I've done this. I've done that. I'm ready. Blah, 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 blah. I have the Lord in my heart. I've got salvation and everything. So these open up doors for us to start sharing the hope within us instead of cowering in the corner, fearing and being afraid. You know, God wants people to stand up these days. Not enough Christians are doing it, but I feel that we need to stand up, be the watchman on the wall, be those examples, and not let fear dictate what is going on. And so, but yeah, that's kind of my message for today. I know I'm rambling and everything. Go West says, look what happened to McCarthy. I love it. I think it's great. And in fact, the new Speaker Pro Tim, who is just hanging onto the chair for right now while they pick another speaker, has just booted Nancy Pelosi out of her office. And they said that they are rekeying her office because she's never vacated the speaker's office. And so McCarthy let her stay there and everything. So the new speaker has booted her out, given her 24 hours, and they're rekeying the office. So I think that's great news. I did not like McCarthy or anything. I think he's a stinking rhino sellout. And so I'm really hoping that they put a really good speaker in that. I would love to see Matt Gaetz become the Speaker of the House. That guy has cojones. And so, yeah, but, you know, that's again, I'm rambling today and everything. Go as I pray for the time that God's people be strong and courageous. Yes, you know, we are living in exciting times. We are living in times where we can be the example. We can share the hope. And so that's why we prepare, so that we know what's going on during the storm and we can do something about it. So I guess that's everything, folks. Me and my rambling. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me this morning. Like I said, this was just kind of a thing that popped into my head as I was sitting here thinking about what's going on and everything. And I'm just seeing so much fear out there today about this presidential emergency phone call. And I wanted to say, be the example, stand up, don't fear, and be ready to share the hope. So that's everything, folks. Raymond Moore, do me a favor. If you're new here, like, subscribe, share, and then ring that little bell so you get notified. And then also, folks, join my Facebook group. I've got a Facebook group called the Kilted Prepper Community, and we are doing some really cool stuff. We're sharing a lot of great information and everything. Go check it out on Facebook. You know, I think I'm going to have a link down here. So do that and become part of a great community of watchmen who are not fearing, and we're doing something about it. So, Raymond Moore, Kilted Prepper, folks. We'll see you. Goodbye. God bless. Coffee with Ray. Kilt on.